Hi class, in this video we're going to be talking about solving equations with brackets. So in this case we're going to have the equation in the form a bracket x plus b bracket equals to c, or a bracket x minus b bracket equals to c. So an example of that can be shown here where we have 3 bracket x plus 5 bracket equals to 27. Now, when you have a number in and a bracket next to each other, it's just implied that you multiply the 3 by every entity inside the bracket. So if you want a review of that, I would advise you to watch the distributive property or expanding brackets video that I posted previously. Now, to solve for this, we first have to pretty much apply the distributive property, and then we can apply the reverse BEDMAS rule that we always use to isolate for x. And reverse BEDMAS would be we want to undo subtraction addition first, then multiplication division, then undo exponents, and then finally undo the brackets. So in this case here, let's apply the distributive property. So I can multiply 3 by x and also multiply 3 by 5. So you multiply the number on the outside by every term, meaning every entity separated by a plus or a minus sign on the inside of the bracket. So in this case, I'm now going to have 3 times x, which is going to be 3x, and 3 times 5 is going to be 15. So I got 3x plus 15 equals to 27. Now what I have is just a two-step equation. So now let's just solve using reverse BEDMAS or SAMDEV. We want to undo subtraction or addition first because that's the first steps in reverse BEDMAS or SAMDEV. In this case, I have plus 15. So the opposite of that is take away 15. So let's minus 15 from both sides. Now on the left side, I'm just going to have 3x left. On the right side, 27 minus 15 is just going to get me 12. So I have 3x equals to 12 now, which is a one-step equation. Since 3 is multiplying by x, I want to do the opposite and divide both sides by 3. In this case, on the left side, I'm just going to get x. And on the right side, I'm going to get 12 divided by 3 is 4. So x would equal to 4 in this case. Now, we always ask, how do we check our work? So if you want to check the work, let's write check work. What we can do is replace the x with a 4. So in this case, instead of 3 bracket x plus 5, it's 3 bracket 4 plus 5 equals to 27. Now let's see if the left side actually equals to the right side. So 4 plus 5 is going to be 9. So my question to you is 3 times 9 equal to 27? Yes. So that means x equals to 4 is our correct answer. Okay. Now for our second example, I'm going to show you two methods to solve this. First, let's use the method that I taught you before. Let's apply the distributive property. So I'm going to multiply 4 by x and 4 by the negative 5 here. So 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 5, if you remember your integers, is going to be negative 20. And that's going to equal to 8. So now I have a two-step equation again. Let's apply reverse BEDMAS to solve this. So let's undo subtraction and addition first. So right now, x is multiplying by 4 and it's subtracting from 20. So we undo the subtraction. So I'm going to add 20 to both sides to get 4x on the left side. Now on the right side, I have 8 plus 20, which is 28. Now x is multiplying by 4, so I want to do the opposite to get x by itself. I'm going to divide both sides by 4. So in this case, x equals to 28 divided by 4, and 28 divided by 4 is going to be 7. So I have x equals to 7. Now, I did say I would show you a different method to solve for this, so I'm going to write or. Okay, imagine you have the same question again. 4 bracket x minus 5 equals to 8. Now, in this case, if we did apply reverse BEDMAS or SAMDEV, we wouldn't be able to undo the subtraction because it's inside the bracket. So the first thing we actually undo would be multiplication and division instead. So right now, because I have 4 multiplying by what's inside the bracket, I want to do the opposite and divide by 4. Now I have 4 divided by 4, which is just 1. but what I do to the left side, I have to do to the right side. So on the right side, I got 8 divided by 4. Now, because 4 divided by 4 is 1, I'm just going to get x minus 5 now on the left side. And the right side, I get 8 divided by 4, which is just going to be 2. So I have x minus 5 equals to 2. Well, that's a one-step equation. Since I'm subtracting 5 from x to get x by itself, I'm just going to do the opposite and add 5 to the left side. And what I do to the left side, I also have to do to the right side. So now I just have x on the left side. On the right side, I have 2 plus 5. And the answer to that is 7. So notice I got x equals to 7. And both methods do work and get you the correct answer. It's just which do you prefer? Do you prefer to apply the distributive property first and then solve, or do you prefer to use the division first and then solve as a one-step? Now, in this case, the second method doesn't always work out very nicely. So imagine instead of 4 bracket x minus 5 equal to 8, I have 4 bracket x minus 5 equal to 9. If I have 9 on the right side now, 9 divided by 4, well, that wouldn't be a very nice number. That's when you might want to think about maybe using the first method, because that might make it easier for you. So it depends on which method you want to use and what method you're more comfortable with. So let's compute our last example. So in this case, for our last example, I have negative 2 bracket x minus 1 bracket. So equals to 10. So let's apply our distributive property and multiply negative 2 by both of these terms. So negative 2 times x is going to be negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 1, remember your integers, a negative times a negative becomes a positive. So that's going to be positive 2 instead, and that's going to equal to 10 now. Now in this case, I want to apply SAMDEV and undo the addition first, so I subtract 2 from both sides. On the left side, I'm going to have negative 2x. On the right side, I'm going to have 10 minus 2, which is 8. Now I'm going to undo my multiplication by dividing both sides by negative 2. Now recall, negative 2 divided by negative 2 is going to be 1, so I just get x on the left side. Now 8 divided by negative 2, a positive divided by a negative is going to be a negative, so I'm going to get negative 4 as an answer. So x equals to negative 4 is my answer. Now recall, I can also solve this the other way that we talked about. So in this case, I have negative 2 bracket x minus 1 equals to 10. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. Okay, so in this case here, negative 2 divided by negative 2 is just 1. So I'm just going to get x minus 1 on this left side. The right side, 10 divided by negative 2, I'm going to get negative 5. A one-step equation. So now x minus 1 equals negative 5. I'm going to get x by itself by adding 1 to both sides. So I got x on the left side. On the right side, negative 5 plus 1. Remember your integers. This is just going to be negative 4. So notice I got the same answer again by applying the SAMDEF method and dividing first instead of using the distributive property on the bottom as I did on the top. So here I got x equals negative 4. Here I got x equals negative 4. Again, both methods can work. It just depends on what you're more comfortable with.